What is it like to modify an airplane? Hi, I am a motor taxi driver repairing airplanes. You've seen a lot of car modifications, seen an airplane modification. Today I got a job. We need to modify the engine of this airplane, do modifications. As everyone knows, the SMR report of the V2500 engine often shows this kind of EGT information. This airplane can be said to be an old actor. Not long handling it, the issue appeared again. Let's take a look. The prescription today. We must cure it completely. The panel in the cockpit. Open the FADEC! Enter the FADEC page on the MCDU. Click Troubleshoot to diagnose the issue. Locate and access the SM data system, which will allow you to retrieve and read the specific fault codes associated with the problem. This process is essential for identifying and resolving any underlying issues effectively. It's likely wiring harness box got moisture in it. From the econ page, we can see the current EGT temperature, a mere 80 degrees. Go directly to the engine. Check all the EGT wiring harnesses for it. Now it's the engine fan. The nacelle is in an open state. There are many components inside, many cables. This lump on the wiring harness is as big as a giant CPU. Is the engine's EEC seen as the central nervous system engine? Our EGT wiring harness is connected from the EEC, passes through the fan case, from bottom back, enters into the thrust reverser nacelle, enter the core engine to the tail. Without delay, let's use the hydraulic cart. Open thrust reverser nacelle. To open the thrust reverser, let's briefly explain EGT. Working principle. EGT stands for exhaust gas temperature, which is the exhaust temperature, an important indicator of engine performance. If temp's too high, the turbine blades may not withstand it, leading to mid-air stop. Temp low, it may indicate incomplete fuel combustion, unable to provide reliable thrust. Therefore, the detection of this temperature, its transmission and display must be accurate. Its thermocouple sensor probe is located rear of turbine. Several thermocouples spread on both sides of the casing to detect temps. Then through the wiring harness, they are gathered at the junction box at the bottom of the casing, and finally sent to the EEC for processing, and then displayed in the cockpit. The thrust reverser cowl has opened, but this is close to the EEC wiring harness. What you see is our EGT thermocouple. Sensor, its other end. The thermocouple passes through the casing, enters inner duct to sense the exhaust temperature inside. Mentioned before, there's more than one. Two on each side, one above and one below, multiple, to measure temperature more accurately. As usual, we start from the EGT thermocouple and move forward to check if all the wiring speeds are normal. Now we have come to the left side, to the lower thermocouple, to check if its terminal is normal. Many times, EGT faults are due to issues with this terminal because this is a high temperature, high vibration area. The terminal can easily fatigue and break inaccurate signals. Check several EGT thermocouples, those normal conditions. Let's continue to check if there are any issues with their wiring harnesses. Attention needed checking wiring harness to ensure clamps are secure. And whether friction with the wiring harness, what you see now is the wiring harness thermocouple. All wiring harnesses converge here. It is the root of all evil, the place most prone to moisture intrusion. Thing must be disassembled inspection. First, continue to check the wiring harness forward. This harness check requires full concentration. Look at this wire, otherwise you keep turning it. You might mistake it for another wire. The EGT wiring harness has been checked. There is an electrical plug connection here. Inspect visually. Check if the entire electrical plug is abnormal to see if there is any looseness, wear, etc. The inspection of the wiring harness is much simpler. The two green lines on the screen go straight into the fan casing and finally connect to the EEC. For checking long, no problem with the wires. Since that's the case, let's open up this wiring box to see if anything odd inside. It's just a metal protective cover with two slotted screws. At the top, there are two slotted screws on the surface, all secured with 6mm fuses. Remove the fuse box. Loosening screws. Take off cover. And you can see what's inside